February the 1st, 2024. Guys, you're looking at a YouTube channel. More than likely, many of you have seen it, especially in the last week or two. But it's called JLR Investigates. And this is JLR that you're looking at here. He's at Eagle Pass, Texas. He's been there for at least a week and been up and down the border in several states most of the winter. And I tell you what, I wouldn't want this guy investigating me because he is a bulldog. This guy has been here almost day and night, and he was talking about in this video, which is live now as we speak. I'm going to link to it. And he's pointed back to the park there at Eagle Pass. And it was full, he was talking about just a week ago, and we have seen many pictures in the news, guys. A lot of times you may not even realize it was Eagle Pass, but it was completely full, 5,000 or 6,000 at a time coming through. Now there's nothing coming through there. You've got National Guard in place, you've got, and they are working hand in hand with Border Patrol, by the way. There's been no conflict with that. You've got troopers in there from Texas. Remember we saw some troopers that were there from Florida. I'm not sure if they're still in town or not, because actually it's very peaceful. And that's what he's pointing out in this video. And I think it's important what we're looking at, because as he's saying here, it worked. You've got still National Guard. If you got inside of here, and this is just a very small area, and he walks through a lot of area in this video, and most all of them. He's been in different places around here, north of it, south of it, showing some gaps in border walls and things like that. But this was one of the major crossing points, I think, here in Lukeville, Arizona, if I'm not mistaken, guys. But this one is shut down. If you were to get in, you wouldn't go anywhere because, again, there's Humvees, National Guard posted all throughout this area. And the river you're looking at is the Rio Grande, that's back in the background of the video. And then I think that on the hill behind that, you're actually into Mexico itself. But there was a lot of things that were going on besides just in the park. They had some housing and things like that set up, processing centers. And he's saying all of that's like a ghost town now. So the point of this is that this has worked here. Of course, you're going to see it spread out and other areas open up. But when you shut down a main corridor, then you have stopped, at least in this area, they're saying over 5,000 folks a day were coming through. A lot of them were not just refugees from a war-torn country that were coming through here. Now, another interesting thing would be to see how Abbott reacts. This is shut down, and as JLR is talking about in this video, how long will they leave up this wire and things like that, and what will happen if they take it down now. But again, there's still National Guard there working with, again, the Border Patrol. I think the Border Patrol can still get down to the boat ramps that's inside this park, and with their airboats and rescue boats and things like that. But this is quiet as it could be right now. You can see in the background there's nothing, and if you go to this video, you can see as he does the walkthrough where we saw many pictures of folks lined up with orange fencing, the orange plastic fencing in rows where you're kind of walking back and forth in long lines, and it would be full. It's completely empty, that section, and you'll see it there. But again, what will Abbott do at this point? You know that he's aware of most of all the places that are opening. Is this just a showcase, and will the rest of the areas be allowed to continue to be crossed, or will he spread this out? We don't know yet, because everyone's been anticipating some type of conflict between the National Guard and the Border Patrol, but that's not happening at all. And he's pointing out in this video also that they're hanging out together, going to eat, lunch, off duty, things like that. So it's like there is no conflict there. If there the only noise that would happen there if a lot of protesters came in here now. But it looks like, and if I were in charge and it looked this peaceful to me, I would leave enough folks there, just, in a basic plan, and start to spread out. If your intent was not just a political showcase, but actually doing something to alleviate the fact that, as a matter of fact, Adams, the mayor of New York, is really crying now to get people shipped out of there. He's saying they can no longer deal with it, and that's city after city, Denver, Chicago, all across, that they're just overwhelmed, and people are being pushed out that are taxpayers of medical facilities, housing, jobs, things like that. So, I mean, what else can you do? And actually, it's been about 3 years too long. I'm like a lot of people. If you're going to go to another country, if you leave here and go to another country, you've got to have paperwork, passports. You got to leave at a certain time. You have to get in legally. And guys, it's been going on for a long, long time. Folks coming across the border and working. I've seen it in the Phoenix area with a lot of different things, especially back over towards the White Tank area, west of Luke Air Force Base, with a lot of where they have looks like thousands of acres of roses there in the desert that get a lot of that is picked by migrant workers, and there's nothing wrong with that at all. But when you're dealing with the entire world at conflict with each other, and you've got military age groups coming in from every nation you can name, there's going to be trouble. And it reminds me of the Albert Pike letter about fomenting the World War III situation and talking about releasing the nihilist. You guys are familiar with that. If you haven't, the Albert Pike letter. And now, about that, my friend Rex Bear pointed out that they had proven that in that letter it talks about World War I, II, and the upcoming World War III, but the World War III section of that was not put in the original book. But who knows that it wasn't the same group that added it in as it moved forward. And so that's my point. And it looks like that what we read in the Albert Pike letter is coming true. And that's because it's the people in charge that probably wrote the book are still in charge now, fomenting the situations. But again, it always reminds me of that, the unleashing of the nihilists. Look it up. Guys, we're watching this. There'll be links below. It's a heads up. Be safe.